Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're talking homemade Sicilian pizza. You know, I'm a member of this group on Facebook. It's called Boston Pizza Wars. And there's all these guys, probably 4,000 or 5,000 members. And what they do is they rate their pizza in their local towns. And they post pictures and they give them ratings. And I was looking at some of the pizza and I gotta tell you, there's a lot of terrible pizza out there. A lot of guys found some really great pizza. I mean, listen, I'm from the north end of Boston. Regina Pizza was voted the best pizza in the country. So, you know, when you come from a place like that, you expect a lot from your pizza. So today, I'm gonna give you a fantastic Sicilian pizza recipe. You don't need a stone. You don't need a $3,000 oven in your backyard. You need a cookie sheet. In fact, I'm gonna mix my dough in a mixer. If you didn't have one, you could mix it in a bowl with a wooden spoon. I suggest you get one of these because it's a lot easier, but the same. You don't need any of that to make a great pizza, and today, I'm gonna show you how. Okay, we're talking pizza dough. Very simple, very simple. 2 cups bread flour, a teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon of salt, your packet of yeast. Okay, in that goes. The sugar is going to activate the yeast. We're going to close this blade, and we're going to mix it up. Once your dries are all mixed, I'm going to shut that. We're going to take this off, and we're going to put on our kneader. This basically takes the place of your hands in kneading dough. We're going to turn it on, and I'm going to start with 1 cup of 95 to 105 degree water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, we're going to knead this about 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, guys, this is where you need to check the consistency of your dough. I have an extra ½ a cup of bread flour right there, and as you can see, that's still a little soupy. So you start to add. All right, add about 1/4 of that. And add as much as you need to get the consistency right for your dough. Okay, guys, our dough is done. Alright, see? Right off the hook. Now, what you want to do, take a little bit of olive oil, put it in the bottom of your bowl. Take a paper towel, doesn't matter. Alright? Get it all around the sides, spread it around, right? You get your dough, it's going to be real sticky. Right, get it up in a bowl, there it is. Get it in, roll it around. It's got some oil on it, it's not so sticky. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to cover that with saran wrap, and we're going to let it rise, I don't know, about a ½ hour. Now, I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to repeat this entire process, except for I'm going to use a gluten-free 1-to-1 flour, and when I add my liquid to the mix, I'm going to add 1 egg. That's going to get you a gluten-free crust, because today I'm going to make a regular and I'm going to make a gluten-free. Okay, so remember, same ingredients. Replace your bread flour with 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, and when you add your liquid in, which is your water and your oil, you add 1 egg. And repeat this entire process, makes your gluten-free dough. I'm going to wrap this, make that dough, and we'll be back. Okay guys, we're back, and our dough, it's rising. Let me say this, making that dough, it's a lot of work, okay? And you can go to your local supermarket and buy a great dough for short money. You can buy a New York style dough for $1.59. You can buy gluten-free dough, already made, right in your supermarket, $4 or $5. Sometimes it's worth it, because as you saw, making that dough, it's a real pain. It's great to have homemade dough, but you know something? When you can buy it for $1.49, Sometimes I even go to my local pizza place, Mario's. I'll go down there. Hey, can I have a couple of those? It's like $2. So you have to decide if all that is worth the aggravation of a couple of bucks. But right now, we're gonna make our pizza sauce. And what I start with is I start with pastine, San Marzano tomatoes, imported from Italy. And what I like to do is I like to separate all of this, okay? Because this is a lot of water that I just don't want. Leave the lid on, get right in there, squeeze it in, drain all that liquid out of your whole San Marzano tomatoes, because you know something? All that right there makes it too watery. All right, I'm gonna get as much as I can out. And I'm gonna take my lid, and now we're gonna put it in the processor. Just the tomatoes. Alright. And of course, we're not going to beat these to death, you know? Little pulp. And you know something? That's about it. I mean, we want our pizza sauce to be chunky, right? Yeah. Hey, there it is. Okay, that's the first thing that's gonna go in. All right, we're gonna get rid of this. Now, we're not gonna use that. Contidina sauce. I'll add about half of this can. It's more of a consistency thing for me, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so there's our base for pizza sauce. Ground San Marzano tomatoes and a half a can of contadina sauce. Now, we start with our dried oregano. And this is one of those things. How much? Well, it's that much. How much is that much? It's that much. This is to taste, okay? Some nice sea salt. Not too much, because you know, the blood pressure. We're gonna need some ground pepper and just a little bit of garlic powder. Hey, that's enough. Okay. Okay, now, don't be afraid. Get your spoon in there. Give it a taste. And that's delicious. You know something? I'm gonna add just a little more dried oregano. Okay, add a little more oregano. We give ourselves another little taste. And that's it. That's the stuff pizza dreams are made out of right there. So, I'm gonna clean this up. As soon as that dough is finished rising, we're gonna be back and we're gonna be rolling dough. Alright guys, I'm gonna start with the gluten-free. And for some reason, gluten-free dough doesn't really rise. I have no idea why. It's very tough to deal with. I can't roll it with a pin. I've never been able to roll it. You certainly can't toss it. The way that I found to deal with it is I just press it right into the pan that I'm using. Get yourself some good olive oil spray. Nice spray. Alright, take your gluten-free dough, get a rough shape that you want, and start pressing. And you see those ends, they just crack. I'm unsure of the reason why, but because of that lack of gluten and whatever's in that all-purpose gluten-free flour, this is just the way the dough is. The very first time I dealt with it, I tried to roll it. My poor daughter, she didn't even get a pizza. That's how bad it was. So it's taken me some time to figure this out. And let me tell you, gluten-free pizza, it's definitely not the prettiest thing on the planet. Certainly not going to be nice and square like a regular Sicilian pizza. It's cracked edges. But you know something? Of all the gluten-free pizza that my daughter has tried over the years, she always says, "Dad, yours is still the best." And why, of course? What's that ingredient? It's made with love. You know, we care. So, you get that gluten-free dough as thin as you can and as shapely as you can. Try to get yourself a little crust. Of course, you see you can't make it too thin, or you start going right down to the pan, which is where your funny shapes come in. But you know something? If it tastes good, they really ain't gonna care what it looks like. Okay, and you know something? I'm happy with that right there. Like I said, gluten-free pizza isn't pretty, but if it tastes good, they ain't gonna care. Okay, I'm gonna take care of this, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna roll our dough for our Sicilian pizza. Okay guys, as you see, we're set up to roll dough. Here's our regular dough. Right? Put it in that flour, flip it over, and immediately figure out what's long ways. The dough always wants to go one way, so this is gonna be my rectangular way. Alright, and here we go. Now, got my pan right there, because of course I'm watching the size of my pan to the size of my dough. And you definitely want to make your dough 20% bigger than your pan, because what's going to happen is, as soon as you pick this up off the counter, it's going to shrink. And you want to have a little extra anyways to make your crust. Alright, you roll it out. And of course, like I said, look at your pan. It's your size. Right? Alright, same thing. Get your olive oil spray. A little light spray. Guys, you really only have one shot at this. Alright, dough comes up. Gotta put it in with just enough for your crust and lay it in. And now you're fixed. Once you get it in, you really can't pick it back up again. And you're gonna need to work it around. Get a little extra on the ends. Give yourself a little fold for your crust. Don't be afraid to give it a stretch in the pan. Right? A little fold for your crust. Okay, so here we have it, all set in the pan. I'm gonna clean this up, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna assemble our pizzas. Okay, we're ready to assemble our pizzas. And what I have here is I have some fresh shredded whole milk mozzarella, and this is that classic 6-cheese Italian blend that I love. That's mozzarella, provolone, Parmesan, Fontina, Assaggio, and Romano. What a flavor it gives. That's a secret recipe right there. Okay, always start with the gluten-free, because of course we don't even want our spoon to touch that other dough, especially if you have an allergy versus celiac disease, because we know that some people, they get very, very sick if they have that gluten. So if you're making gluten-free with anything else, always start with your gluten-free and work your way to the other pizza, or whatever you're cooking. And you know, it's funny, the guys on Boston Pizza Wars, they're always talking about their sauce to cheese ratio and how important it is. And of course, I think that everybody has their own sauce to cheese ratio, right? Some people like a little more sauce, some people like a little more cheese. You know, it's one of those things. How much is that? Well, it's that much. All right, and now we're gonna do a regular pizza. And you know, that's where I'll start. 8 spoons. Fill in the voids. All right. Now, I'm gonna cheese it up. I always put the mozzarella first. And then the 6-cheese blend on top. Okay. And there it is. It's that simple. to make a great pizza at home. And we finish up with our 6 cheese blend on the top there. And then you get your olive oil. Quick drizzle. Boom. Alright? Quick drizzle. Boom. That's it. Now we're going to put these in the oven at 450, and I'm going to come back in about 8 to 10 minutes, and we're going to give them a flip and a rotate. And they go. Okay, we've had 10 minutes, and what we're going to do is we're going to give it a spin and a top to bottom. I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to take the gluten free, give it a spin. That goes on top. This one goes in underneath. Oh, and we'll give that, I don't know, 7 minutes or so, and I'll come back and check it. Okay guys, here's our homemade Sicilian style pan pizza. Right off, right onto your boards. And here we go. Whoa. And for all my boys at the Boston Pizza Wars, there's your flop, there's your cheese to gravy ratio, and I'll tell you what guys, just by looking at it, I'm going to give it a 9.2 because there isn't a perfect pizza unless it comes out of my mother's oven. So I'm going to let this cool for a minute because I definitely don't want to burn my mouth, and we'll be back with the final product. Alright guys, proof is always in the pudding. Just like my childhood. There's nothing better than that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'd love to find out how you did making your homemade Sicilian pizza. And don't forget, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, live, laugh, and cook Italian.